Blizzard Entertainment have met the criticisms headlong that they are bringing Shards of Domination back to the game, therefore immediately ruining Shadowlands. Wait, what? Dragonflight and killing World of Warcraft forever. It's dead. Quit.
So that was nicely engaging in some ways.
Very good.
But if you're going to say that was like a newsreader, no. No.
True.
You need to watch a little bit more BBC.
Okay, that's less BBC, slightly more America, slightly more that North Korean lady who retired, but like, the really animated, the super animated North Korean newsreader that everybody kind of made a sort of a meme character. But yes, we've got a little bit more on the Primordial Stones. Yes. So likely in response to increasing fear and negativity surrounding the gems, Blizzard have put out an official blue post clarifying some core details. Yes. Here is, by the way, a screenshot of one of them being inside a chest. Item level 411.
Heroic.
Successful interrupts exhale smoke, dealing fire damage to enemies in front of you.
Oh no, it's useless.
Receiving heals can exude steam, healing yourself and 2 nearby allies.
Nice.
So, the TLDR. You acquire both the Onyx Amulet Ring and the stones exclusively through the Skara, I think?
Probably Ziskara.
Yeah, Ziskara Vaults, which is a new solo instanced dungeon with some fun puzzles to solve.
Hell yeah.
Now, as we know from some videos, puzzles can be very challenging for some mythic readers.
I love puzzles.
I'm sorry, Lorcogs. Yes, so the keys that you need to unlock doors in the chambers are obtainable by killing rares and looting treasures across the Forbidden Reach. The keys are BOA, so they can be sent to alts. And yes, this did mean that I heard people saying, oh my god, it's even worse. These are Shards of Domination, but with the original design of Torghast. And I've even seen people say that the vaults are themselves Torghast, which is all fascinating.
I really wish I had whatever those people were smoking and or drinking and or eating and or had in their tea. Because that's being that unhinged sounds class.
Oh, it'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
What it is they've put a fun thing in the game and there's loot in it, and also it doesn't fucking matter because it's coming in at the very end of a tier.
Yeah.
Yes, so what happens is you can crush your unused primordial stones into fragments that can then be used either to upgrade your favorite one via jewel crafting or to purchase newer ones from a vendor. They can be unsocketed without destroying them.
It is Shards of Domination.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's almost as if implementation matters. And they seemingly are taking steps to implement this well. And also, their intention behind this is to minimize random outcomes and allow you to customize and experiment with the amulet, similar to the Mechagon trinket that people liked. And they also clarified that by upgrading the primordial stones, the item level of the ring will increase up to a maximum of 424, which lets you scale its power up in a deterministic way.
Incredible.
Yep.
Yeah. There was a chat comment that really had me thinking. And it is... framing is important because everyone goes, well, this is like the last thing that was in the game, which is Torghast. I was like, well, to hell with that. We didn't want that. That was the bad one. We didn't like that. But then Still Solo says, this gives me Throne of the Thunder King dungeon vibes. And you go, hell yeah. If Blizzard said, hey, we're trying a new thing and it's kind of like, remember the Thunder King's Trove? Remember that? You like that? That was a good expansion, even though you didn't know it was a good expansion at the start, you ungrateful bastards. You didn't realize, oh yeah, now it's 10 years later, the expansion is one of the best ever made, which is, I knew that at the time, so I'm right. But yeah, if they just said that without all the back half there, people would have went, oh, it's like the good thing. Which I think Blizzard really need to put that into their, into their vocabulary, into their toolkit, is just... what does this look like? Do this like an internal marketing thing. What does this look like? These three things. Which of these three things do players like the most? That one. Okay, call it that one. Call it like that one. Everyone will go, sweet. Sound.
Well, I've got it right. They need to take the replies to the Warcraft devs Twitter account. They need to use them as a training set for some sort of, chat GPT-like thing. Yeah. And then they need to, say, this is the description of our new gameplay feature. Mr. AI. And then the AI will spit back all of the likely insults that they will get for producing such a feature. And if they had have done that with the domination shards, we probably would have skipped this entire thing entirely, and it would have been fine because they would have realized, yes, the robot we trained off our haters told us this would be bad.
Yeah.
This is not a serious suggestion.
Yes. Also, we have Sweet Fry showed up. When we read through the patch notes earlier, noticed the buff, we did call you out and saying, yeah, we'll DM you the address. You can send the check there because clearly us bringing it up. So did that. Blizzard definitely didn't completely know that was underperforming horrendously, and they haven't been they haven't been slowly touching it up. But anyway, yeah, it still needs more work.
As a team, we'll take the credit, even though it probably had nothing to do with us.
Yeah, these stones seem pretty good, more or less. Absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes what makes something seem cool is a UI being there. So Peter
Hughes saved the day again.
Peter Hughes once again coming in, saving the day. He has an incredible. It was basically a thing, right, that turns your camera and it synchronizes your camera's turn speed with spinning crane kick. So that in the spinning crane kick, your character just appears to be like, just static and the world is spinning around you. It's very nauseating. Well done, Peter. But yes, this little mock-up he did for a UI. But look at the idea, right? You have your ring, you make your ring more powerful. What your ring does depends on the things that you put in it, and they don't get destroyed when you put a new one in. You just collect them and you make the ones you like more powerful. All of this by doing a solo dungeon thingy that's got puzzles in it.
Yeah, a puzzle and lore filled solo dungeon.
Yeah, this is like a bit of a game with a reward at the end that makes sense.
Yeah, this is what everything they've done previously basically should have been. This is it's more of a callback. I'm going to say it's more of a callback to like if Mechagon had its own little dungeony thing than anything else.
And it's that thing, with borrowed power. People are like, this is power that is temporary, therefore it's borrowed power.
Sword tier sets and also gear.
So is item level.
Yeah.
Item level's borrowed power. Well, it doesn't matter when a new patch comes out, basically. I mean, okay, between one patch and the next, it kind of matters, but whenever people were saying borrowed power, it's important to actually talk about things because, it's a bit like what you were saying with, whatever tribe it was that didn't have a word for blue, but they did have loads and loads and loads of words for green, and they could pick apart shades of green that we would just see them all as the same shade. Speaking of green, we'll get to this later. Right, so in this case, borrowed power, what do we mean? What do people mean when they're talking about borrowed power? They were talking about an overarching expansion-wide design ethos that involved a build-around feature, such as the Covenant stuff in the Legendaries, or the Artifact Weapon, or the Azerite gear. That's really what people were talking about. And with the other shorter forms of borrowed power, which, by the way, Blizzard said they are happy to have things like this. At the start of this expansion, they said that they will do small per-patch experiments, and that's fine.
This is one of them?
Yeah, this is one of them. The reason that the previous two examples of that, which were Corruption Gear and were the Domination Shards, it was acquisition that made them shit. In the case of Domination Shards, they also had, no interest in gameplay. They were boring as fuck. And
they were also substantially overpowered, and they were there at the beginning of a tier, so it was basically a race to who rolled the dice to get the thing that made them strong, to get them through the content faster.
Yeah, whereas this is just a fun bit at the end that has relatively deterministic acquisition that looks fair, doesn't look like a load of bullshit. Yeah, you'll need to get keys to enter the vault. Those are an account-wide basis. I mean, for the people who are... And here's the thing. We will... I suppose, though, Matt, we are a top 13% execution guild.
According to... Without the Razageth kill, according to Warcraft logs, yes.
Apparently, we're good at the game. That's fucking shocking. Yeah. And I'm not saying that as a joke. I mean... We saw that number, and how we feel playing the game is very different to this number that tells us we're actually, oh wow, top 13%. Oh, you must be very good. No.
Yeah, no, we just have we have lucky pulls because that's a best, not a median. Yeah. Our median's terrible.
Oh, good.
That's because we're morons.
Yeah, we're morons until somehow, sometimes we all just shut up and play really good, and then the kill happens, we all go, oh, wow, that was smooth. Let's never do that again. But, we're not going to be a particularly fast guild. We're neck and neck with Immortalis Sergeant Dawn at the minute. I think they're slightly ahead of us in
They're
Rise of
decently
Death.
ahead of us.
Oh shit, decently. But like, I think us and Immortalis are probably examples of like a normal, healthy guild,
Yep. Exactly.
right? So we will get heroic curve way before this patch comes out. I
hope.
friggin' hope.
Please, yes.
So it doesn't matter. It's just a thing to go and get. Like, even the way you have to get the keys doesn't really matter because, like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going into Mythic. As far as I'm concerned, like, this will come out and it'll be a thing to do.
Yeah, and the
Maybe
whole
get a
thing's
slight
closed.
leg up at the start of a new patch.
I
And,
don't even imagine.
you know, when
Maybe.
it's like, okay, I've got a reason to go to the new island that's got lore and a campaign in it. I'll go do the thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's so different to all the issues of the domination charts, with them being super overpowered and them happening at the start of a tier where they had the maximum impact, even to the degree where RNG on those was benching people from the race to world first. That will never happen with a system like this. Right? And the problem again with the corruption gear was acquisition. I'd actually say the corruption gear, it had the potential to be one of the most fun things that they put into the game. But the problem was they completely fucked it in acquisition by making a turbo RNG grindfest. People kind of think, oh wow, why are the number of Mythic Plus runs per week humongous in Season 4 of Battle for Azeroth? Oh yeah, it's because people really wanted to get corrupted gear.
Yeah, I think the thing is they keep taking Path of Exile and Diablo principles and applying them to World of Warcraft gear acquisition, but they don't apply them with the whole philosophy coming from Diablo or PoE. They have to make a blend, and it ends up them being, hey, yeah, we have here's a I'm trying to think of a good example. It's hard to know. Hard to get something right. Because I don't want to rely on food again. It's like
Go on.
It's like you've got a peanut butter jelly sandwich and someone says, I really like mustard, add it in. And everyone goes, sorry, that's not going to work.
Matt, you are trending towards the pizza burger in this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but they just jam it in and they go, yeah, that'll work fine. But it results in this awful experience of, oh, yeah, that would be really fun to build around. That would be really interesting. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work with weekly lockouts. It works in D3 because you can run yourself quickly. Yeah, that's the thing where they've run into that problem reliably where they go, because especially from like the game design principle, they really want to have that build around stuff. They want to have that, hey, you can customize things, you can have fun. Because I think as players who are playing World of Warcraft, they're probably big Diablo fans. They're probably big PoE fans. They probably absolutely love all of those games that do that really well. And they're likely frustrated internally that they can't do the same thing. They can't get the same results out of how they're like building around. And they go, shit. Well, I have to rely on doing it through talent trees and doing it in casual content like this ring. Ultimately being a kind of a little thing like that. Because it's failed every other time and it's just loot principles. And that's why I'm kind of advocating for them to take a really, really close, hard look at how gearing works in World of Warcraft and see if they can do anything fundamental to change it. Because they've been doing some, like, here's bits and bobs on top, and here's little changes of things. But I'd love to see them have it like a real good, like, say next patch or 2 patches, raid gearing is different now.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that, see how it goes. But yeah. Yeah, hopefully this thing ends up fun. And I know, like, Adam there's complaining about, or not complaining, what's the term? I guess being someone who's played World of Warcraft for a while, and how they speak, going, this is clearly going to be like, this is going to, it's going to take a lot of time to grind these out. It's probably going to be annoying doing the same puzzles over and over again. So you can only really hope that they know to make it not take forever and make it kind of fun. Especially because it'll go up to 424, which is that'll be a decent element of the start of next season. So hopefully that doesn't take an awful long time, or hopefully it isn't outpowered. And hopefully it's like, oh yeah, well, this is going to be the best ring next expansion. And then, or next patch. But it's fine if it time to get it, because it's been out in 10.07. That's one of the downsides that could happen. I imagine it would. Everything else they've done shows they understand this.
Yeah.
So I think they will make the right choice.
Yeah, and like I would also like quite agree with the whole, this continuing in so many of these games, like eventually is what makes you tired of them, like what Adam said. I totally feel that personally. Yeah. For me, the way that they are done in games like Diablo, I don't like. But the idea of slowly building towards the thing in a game pace like World of Warcraft, I do like. So if they do it well in WoW, then something that, like, the fast-paced Diablo version I wouldn't enjoy, but the WoW version I actually probably would enjoy just because of the pacing that I know that I like.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's that.